Let me introduce you to Alexandru Crisan. This is a man who faked his way to the top levels of chess through corruption, lies, and a bunch of questionable game results. A lot about this man is shrouded in mystery, and come January of 1998, he burst onto the chess scene with a very impressive rating of 2635, which was a huge rating for 1998. For those of you that don't know, a rating like that in 1998 would have put him at around the top 40 in the world, which is obviously no small feat. He was actually already a very strong player. At the age of 27, he was a 2340 rated player, and if you ask me, I would have been perfectly happy being like 27 years old and being rated 2340. That's like strong master level, and I would have just gone on with my life and just been happy at that rating. The extent that he went to just to make it look like he was good rather than just actually be good at the game, it's actually just ridiculous. There is actually something that I will mention towards the end of this video that I think makes him look even more incriminating, and it just adds the icing on the cake to the whole story, so stick around for that. We have to understand the mindset that this guy was in around this time, and so he's probably thinking, you know, I've peaked, I'm 2300, I can't get any better, and so what can I do? And like any sane person, of course, he turns to lies and corruption. And we can bring ourselves back to 1998, where he's just suddenly established himself as one of the best players in the world. And so, of course, people start looking into him. And what they find is that he has very suspicious results. What was found out was that in the last 10 years, he had jumped to his rating of 2635 without doing anything even remotely noteworthy, such as not playing in the Romanian Championship, having 0 recorded games against any player in the Romanian top 10, and so boom, of course this sparks controversy, and he begins to be investigated by these lovely people here, the Romanian Chess Federation. What is found is simply laughable. It was discovered that there were fake tournament reports. It went so far as the arbiter who was in charge of one of these tournaments denied ever signing one of these reports, and no one is sure whether or not that tournament in question even happened in the first place. According to his Wikipedia page, this happened multiple times, which would make sense as to how he gained so much rating in such little time. This rating gain did actually lead to him attaining the IM and GM title in 1991 and 1993 respectively, which obviously he didn't deserve. The first thing that points out to me is, I wonder how FIDE would have just accepted like reports that were fake. I mean, obviously Alexandru's trying to make them look real, even to the point like that there was no system in place to ensure that the reports being submitted were true and that the games recorded on them were accurate. Obviously he's just manipulated the system to give himself like a bunch of fake rating essentially. I'm assuming that he probably forged some of the arbiter's signatures on those reports to make them seem viably true. There should have been a more robust system in place, and it's probably a testament to FIDE's rules and regulations at the time. The Romanian Chess Federation wanted to take away his rating as well as his title, and instead of admitting that he wasn't going to get any better at chess, this man once again done what any sane person would do and turn to corruption. And so what does he do? He makes himself the head of the federation before they can do this, so he can keep his title. This is just simply ridiculous. So he's seen that his country essentially is coming after him. They're saying to him, we know you're probably lying about all of these chess results. Like, we know you're lying. And so to prevent himself being exposed, he makes himself the head of all of them, so then he can't be caught. Like, as I said earlier, the extent that he's going just to fake things is just egregious. The official chess organization FIDE, they see this, they see that he's made himself the head of the Romanian Chess Federation, and it's obvious that something is wrong, right? They know that this man is faking things and he's just made himself the head, and so they have to come up with a plan to intervene. And so what they do is they say to Alexandru, okay, you seem fairly committed to trying to prove that you're worthy of the Grandmaster title, and so what we're going to do is make you prove it. And so what they done was they put him forward for 3 tournaments, all with fields of very strong players at the time, with the goal of just saying, hey, you know, you're telling us you're this good, prove you're this good. And so that's what they done. The first tournament he plays in is known as the Vidmar Memorial. This tournament was very strong for 2001, with players such as Boris Gelfand playing. The results of the tournament are very telling, as we have our friend Alexandru here pulling off a very impressive 0.5 out of 9. If we take a look at this game that he had against Gelfand, the entire time Gelfand's playing black here, Alexandru just gets simply outplayed. Just every move, Boris's move is just better. And as we get to the end of the game, look at this final position. He's just taken on e5 and he plays knight takes f3. Alexandru's position got completely disassembled. And this is a man who's supposed to be a 26-35 rated player. This would never happen. After this shambolic performance, FIDE saw it fitting to finally take away his Grandmaster title, and obviously Alexandru didn't like this very much. And little known fact, Krisan was actually a powerful man with friends in high places. To solve the issue of his title being taken away, he got one of his high-powered politician friends to call the president of FIDE at the time, this guy, and very quickly his title was reinstated and he had his rating readjusted to just below 2600. To be fair, this actually just is quite like outstanding. If he put as much effort into chess as he was trying to corrupt the chess world, he probably could have gained the actual title. A couple of months later, he actually showed up to participate in 2 tournaments in Yugoslavia, where he actually won both events somehow. The first in Kladovo in 2001, and the other in Turkija, I hope I'm not murdering that pronunciation, 11 days later. As you can see, if we look at some of the results of these games, it's a string of either draws or wins by him. This caused the rise of much suspicion, and these are, in fact, the last 10 games that can be found, and whether or not he still plays chess to this day, I do not know. I have tried to find any remnants left of him in the chess world past 2002, but to no avail. However, the story of our friend doesn't quite end there. His name did actually come up again in around 2010 under more unfortunate circumstances for him, where he was actually arrested and imprisoned for owing a lot of money. It was in 30 million of Romanian currency, which for our Second Amendment friends is around $6.7 million. As I mentioned earlier, the icing on the cake to all of this is that after 2010, he kind of fell off the face of the earth, but he is now a wanted man. For reasons I do not know and I cannot explain. That is the last that we know of this man, Alexandru Krisan, an absolute creature to the chess world. A lot of effort and time went into making this video. If you did like it, please leave a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot. I love you all. Peace and goodbye.